No, we gotta leave. No, we have to do it. We have to do it now. Parents, man, you know? Why?
No, I would say my oldest brother is the favorite, and then like my sister.
So you're the least favorite?
They wanted 2 kids. They wanted a son and a daughter.
They wanted
him and Marco are not wanted.
We're not wanted.
Hey, Moy, you can go.
Did you bring your goalkeeper gloves today, Moy?
Those cheap ones, yeah.
Nice.
Tom, place the ball down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. So like, okay, guys, but look at Moy. What is going on?
How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Coach Javi here. Welcome back to the channel. Today is episode 2 of the pre-season series with Georgie, Kitman, Moy, and of course Coach Javi. As you guys can see, we're all decked out in the champion grind gear. I'm wearing the white windbreaker. Moy is wearing that one as well, and Georgie's got the black one. We also have the yellow one, which you guys have seen countless times in the video, and a camo one, which is about to drop. Dropping very, very soon. We're just waiting for the shipment. Anyway, some really good clothing and apparel to wear for these training sessions. I think Georgie's got the black joggers, Moy's got the black joggers, and I have the navy blue ones, as you guys can see. And those are also really, really good for the cold month because they're stretchy, really good material, and they don't have the zippers at the bottom, because every time you receive a pass and it hits the zipper on some of those zip up ones, oh, it hurts so bad. So we got the session already set up out here. We're gonna get straight into it, another light intensity session. So for this episode, I'll put on the Player Tech GPS tracker and I'll show you guys my stats afterwards. I am guessing it's gonna be somewhere around 2 to 2.5 miles as far as the distance that I'm gonna be running today. We're not so much worried about that. There's gonna be probably no sprints on there, maybe 1 or 2 sprints, just because it's gonna be a session that's heavily focused on touches, passing, dribbling, the very, very basics as we start getting into the more intense and more difficult sessions. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Welcome back to the pre-season series, episode 2. Nothing's really changed from this episode to the first one. We did pretty much an exact replica of the type of session that we did in the first one. So again, like I said, because we have so much time before the actual preseason starts, we're just building into it, getting lots of touches on the ball, and doing stuff that's very, very simple. So just like last episode, for the warm-up, we did a fun little reaction, speed and agility type warm-up. We did 2 or 3 different variations, and we used the Blazepods. So if you guys haven't checked out my video on the Blazepods, go ahead and check it out. I'll post it in the description so you guys can go ahead and check it out. Blazepods are just a really, really fun tool that you guys can use to spice up your training sessions, especially if you're doing a lot of individual sessions or smaller group sessions, which a lot of people are doing because of the whole COVID pandemic. So I created these exercises on my own. You can just go onto the app, and it's very, very simple to create it. You can customize absolutely everything, all the colors, all the different options as far as whether you want to tap it, whether you want it to switch after a certain amount of time, how long you want to do the exercise for, all that good stuff. And yeah, I figured we'd use this as a warm-up, get our legs stretched out, and obviously on top of this we did a dynamic warm-up, but just something to get our legs moving, get our minds turned on as we go into the session. And like I said, with these Blazepods, it's always pretty enjoyable and pretty fun. Alright, so for the warm-up, as you guys can see, we did the Blazepods, a little bit of speed and agility, get our legs moving. I highly suggest, if you guys have the money, I know it's a bit pricey, but if you guys have the money, that you get yourself a set of the Blazepods, because they're so much fun. There's so many things that you can do with them. And if you guys want to check out more of an in-depth tutorial on the Blazepods, I'll link that video up here. And if you guys go ahead and do purchase them, please use my link. I'll put it in the comment section and I'll put it in the description of the video. It really helps out the channel, and it might give you guys a little bit of a discount. So go ahead and use that link if you're gonna buy them. So for the first exercise, all it is we start off with a one-touch pass. We go over the hurdle, we back up, receive it, take it around the hurdle, and then play it back, and then we'll restart. So this is a one-sided exercise. So after you do about 30 to 45 seconds on one side. You can switch it over and do it with the other side. Obviously, we want to mirror everything that we do if we can. So we're working with both feet, never just working with our strong foot, but trying to make sure that we get just as many reps with our weak foot as we do with our strong foot. So Georgie and I used our working sets as rest time for the other person. So if you're doing this by yourself, or if you're a coach who's doing this with a player, then you can just manage the rest time however you want. Me and Georgie and Kitman Moy, as you guys can see, he's in the background just doing some laps. We usually like to take it easy. We don't really monitor the rest times as much. We just kind of go at our own pace. We're talking in between each exercise. We're thinking about whether we like it, whether it feels natural, whether we want to switch it up. Maybe we want to adjust the height of the hurdle, or maybe the passing progression isn't something that we feel is going to be as beneficial as something else. So you will always constantly see me changing it up, trying new things, and I think that's the most important, is that we're making sure that it works for the athlete or for the player. So very simple exercise, not too complicated there. For the next exercise, we did a little bit more movement. As you guys can tell from my exercises, we start with a little bit of movement and then we increase the movement as the training session goes on. So all it is a touch on one side of the cones. We go over the cones with our knees up, and then we do the same thing on the other side. We back up, play a little one-touch pass or a little wall pass around one of the cones, and then we just repeat the progression. So I like a lot of these exercises just because they're non-stop and you can go as long as you want. So you can go there and back 3 or 4 times, or if you want, you can go for time. You can go 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes. And again, a lot of these exercises, there's so much room for creativity and so much room for you to change whatever you like. Or if you want to just keep it simple like we do, a lot of 1-touch or 2-touch type passing. And then as you can see in this one, we incorporated a little give and go, a little wall pass around the cone. So because it's usually just me and Georgie for these exercises, we like to incorporate a lot of stuff that you can do with a wall, because it's like having an added player there. So if we had an extra guy or two, then maybe we wouldn't use the wall, we would just use that player. But because it's just me and Georgie, if we can incorporate a wall somehow, that makes it a little bit better, because then that means I don't have to run as much. So for this one, very, very simple, making sure that when we open up and we play the person back, that we're facing in that direction. We got our hips facing towards that player, and we're not still trying to be on the turn. And then obviously a good solid first touch to receive coming off of the walls.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. What are you doing, George? What is this fancy stuff? What is that fancy stuff? Hold on a second. Ladies, what is this fancy stuff, George? My good people of YouTube, one rule or one thing that you should always know is, unless you absolutely need to do all the fancy stuff, the back heels, the flicks, all that stuff, don't do it. Keep it simple. Use the inside of your foot, use the outside of your foot if needed, but the most accurate part is always going to be the inside. Georgie thinks he's big time now because he's a professional footballer and he can do all the flicks and all the back heels and all that stuff. There's no room for that, unless it is the last thing that you can do, and unless you're Neymar or Ronaldo or Pogba, which you aren't.
What?
Georgie is not. Georgie is not.
Did you just put Pogba on the
Pogba
list?
does all this stuff, yes.
Did you just compare
I just put
Messi,
Pogba
Ronaldo,
on the list, yes. I didn't compare him, I added him to the list.
Listen, when you can do stuff like this.
Listen, are you worth $100 million, George? Is Georgie worth we'll put Georgie's transfer market value up here somewhere, because we actually have the transfer market value, don't we?
26,000.
We have Georgie's transfer market value. We'll put it up on the screen. That transfer market value is not good enough to be doing flicks and heels and Kim Memoy, talk to your boy. Tell him. What do you think, boy?
The #1 rule, keep it simple.
Guys, all I'm gonna say is, on Football Manager, my first touch is a 13 out of 20. Højbjerg from Spurs is 14. Mason Mount from Chelsea is 14. I'm one away.
So we did a few sets of this one, but we split it into 2 variations. The second variation is pretty much the exact same thing, except after you play it off of that replay station, instead of taking it around the cone, you just open up, play it back to the partner, do a little give and go, little wall pass around the agility pole, and then we restart the pattern that way. So just to get a different look, just to switch it up. Oftentimes when I am planning the session, I like to try and write in 2 or 3 different variations for each exercise, because sometimes it looks good in paper, but when you actually try it out, it doesn't actually work. So I got a few different backup plans so that we don't waste too much time while we're there. Always just something to have in the back of your mind, have a few different backup options, and it'll just save you some time when you're doing the session, and it'll give you some ideas and some multiple options if you like that exercise and you want to continue it. After that, Kitman Moy was gracious enough to go back into goal. So it's a very simple exercise. You start on the mannequin, you check out, you hit a shot from that distance, and then you follow your run in behind the mannequin, get played in, and then you're facing the goal, and it's more of like a little bit of a breakaway 1v1 with the goalkeeper because we're nice and close. So again, simple shooting exercises. As you guys know, I like to finish off with these because it kind of ends the session on a fun note, and everybody likes to score goals, so why not? Obviously, Georgie and I did a few reps on both sides, and then in the last exercise, it's just a little bit of a variation, but it's all the same thing. It's all just shooting, touches, and just finding new ways to get creative, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Go on, boy.
Come on.
Hey! Uh-oh.
Let's go.
Pressure.
Oh. Oh, come on, you're stretching me up. Oh, you're stretching me up. How'd you get chipped at your near post? What the hell? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for this one. Pre-season episode 2. Episode 2 with Kitman Moy and Georgie. I hope you guys liked it. Again, I hope you guys liked the voiceover that I did from the studio, breaking down each individual exercise. It's quite cold out here, so I think it's time for us to go home. Once again, if you guys like the Blazepods, make sure you guys go ahead and use my link to purchase them. Like I said, they're a bit pricey, but there's a holiday sale going on right now, and they're worth every single penny. Obviously, make sure you guys go ahead and get some Champion Grind merch. It's the only merch that I use to train. And yeah, that's it for this one. Till next time, and adios, muchachos.